What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're over here at Mike's shop. The Challenger is out of the shop. See, we've got plenty of room in here. Today, he went to the dyno with it. Unfortunately, they had a few issues, though, prior to the dyno. I'll let y'all talk to him, and he'll tell you what happened with that. But we're going to work on my Big Block Chevrolet a little bit tonight. 532 cubic inches. We're going to get the camshaft in it and get the crankshaft in it. And hopefully get this ball rolling. The tube chassis car, the Mustang, down at Uncle Mike's in Wilmington, it's coming along nice. It's really coming along. It's going to be a rolling chassis probably sooner than I have the motor together if I don't step up my part of the deal and get this thing going. Comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all want to support the channel, head on over to TurboJohnRacing.com. Grab yourself some hats and t-shirts. If you want to get entered to win that front wheel that come off of the wreck car, go buy that turbo keychain from our website. All right, guys, so this is the motor that we got from Jerry. Got it back from Danny, did all the stuff to it to get it ready for us to reassemble, to freshen it up. This is an iron block. It's a little heavy, but that's why the motor is going to be slid back so far in the car. Steel billet caps, so we were just looking up torque specs. These bad boys here are huge, 1/2 inch. These are torqued to 100 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and get that in it. Also got the rear main seal. I'm going to show you how we put the rear main seal in. I've always done a small block Chevrolet like this and never had any real leaks. So I'll show you what we're doing. Have fun on the dyno?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of?
It was okay. Not, we're going to make another round, but I'm going to take it over to HED.
Right.
And put it on his dyno, which is what he would prefer.
Right.
But, you know, get the car out of here on Sunday, put it in the trailer, get it over to Josh's. I let Josh back it out of the trailer. And, you know, he backed it out and he shut it off and I heard something. I'm like, uh-oh. And so, okay, fine. He cranked it back up. We pulled it around, got it up to the shop. He shut it off again and I heard it again. I'm like, okay, that don't sound right. So we got it in the shop and when he pulled it in, he shut it off. And I heard it again. I said, that just doesn't sound right. So we're looking. First thing I looked at is, if you remember, I had a accessory drive for the fuel pump. The bolt backed out of it.
Right, that's right.
I said, that's the first thing I went to look for. I said, did the bolt back out again? Nope, that's not the problem. So I looked a little bit more. So I told Josh, I said, fire it up. So we fired it up and we shut it off. And I heard it was getting louder. I said, uh-oh. So I took the safety guard off
the belt,
front,
right.
And I reached in and grabbed the wheel, just went, whoosh. I said, no, it's busted. It broke.
So it was, I don't know if you got any video. I should have got video of it the other day while y'all were on the dyno, but it was, we think the shaft broke from the gear set or come undone or something.
Well, it didn't break.
However it is attached to the gear set internally on the blower is no longer attached.
I think it's like a spline.
Right, that's possible.
And I think it sheared every one of them splines off.
Yeah, I guess we won't ever know because ProCharger is not going to show us the inside. When Randy's touchdown, you could grab the compressor wheel and move it up and down, but yours was not like that.
No, it was tight.
But it was literally like, it was sitting there and you could take the compressor wheel, hold the part that is gear driven, and it would just spin.
So when I called ProCharger, and, you know, said, okay, here's what I got. Here's the problem. They asked me serial numbers and all that shit. And they said, okay,
right.
It was built this day. And, you know, and I said, okay, fine. I said, here's the problem.
Right.
I said, I can hold the hub in the back and turn the compressor wheel. They said, that's not possible. I said, it is possible.
I'm telling you what we're seeing.
I'm telling you what I'm seeing. And I said, you can turn the hub, the gears, you can hear the gears and all that turning. It will turn the compressor wheel. But if you grab a hold of it, it'll turn freely.
Right.
We've never had that before. Quote, okay, so what? I got the first ProCharger that ever broke like this. I said, so I told a guy on the phone, I said, so you're telling me this is R&D and it's free to fix. He kind of backpedaled on that.
So y'all ended up putting the old F1A on it, the small one, and first pull made 650 horsepower. Pete done his tuning magical up arrow manipulator, although there's no up arrow on a blower car, but he was able to pick up about 200 horsepower. Now, I was hoping that we were going to see a good back-to-back, like our tunes, what we had, versus, you know, how much Pete was going to be able to tweak out of it on top of it. Right. But it was in a part of the map that we don't ever tune in, timing-wise and fuel-wise, because we always make way more boost than that. So he did pick up 200 horsepower, but I don't think we were 200 horsepower off from the max setup. So he's going to find out at some point, get the other blower fixed.
You know, somebody that fools around in a Holly more than we do.
Oh, yeah. He's a professional tuner.
He saw a few things that, yes, they worked.
Right.
No, this is how they should work better.
Right.
So he fixed all that mess. And So I just wish we would have had the bigger ProCharger.
Yeah.
You know,
Which that was the whole intent.
that was the whole intent. I mean,
But yeah, but it literally broke the day before he was coming. So I mean, what can you do?
You know, so
Luckily, you had another blower.
Well, and I'm not the type of guy that says, okay, I booked him, told him to come out, and I'm like, you know what, we're gonna put the F1A 94 on it,
Right.
and we're gonna get what we get. At least he can go through the ECU, get the tune, get it up to where it's maxing out the blower.
And how big is that motor?
It's 427 cubic inches.
427. So yeah, so a bigger motor is going to consume the air better.
We didn't turn any dyno pull more than like 65.
Oh, okay.
So we were nowhere hitting the end limit of the blower.
So it might have gained a little bit more boost if you'd have sped the blower up a little bit at that RPM.
Well, I mean, as a disclaimer,
But, yeah.
and as he made me laugh. I'm not responsible for any of the tune work, and I told Pete when he got there, I said, let me just say this up front. I'm going to pay you now.
Right.
And if we make 2 pulls and we blow the stuff, well.
That's what happens.
That's
right.
what happens. It's a race motor.
That's right.
So no, we didn't, but we cleaned up a lot of stuff, and I got a couple of things that he wants me to do, which I will. Hopefully I get the ProCharger back and we'll go beat on it.
We're going to slap the crankshaft in this thing real fast, put the camshaft in it. I'm going to show you the camshaft too. I got me a Bullet Racing cam. The Bullet Racing cam that I got, I called them and they had this one on the shelf. All right, guys, here goes the cam card on this thing. So if you look at it, it's not super radical by any means. 273, 278. Man, I think actually my small block cam is actually bigger than that right now. 115 lobe separation. You can see the overlap and all that stuff. It does have a decent amount of lift in it. 772, but this should be a pretty good camshaft. Let's slide the crankshaft in real fast. Something else I wanted to show y'all. So this is the crankshaft. This is the Magnum crankshaft. And then this is a Cali's, this Compstar. I think Compstar is made by Cali's. But I want y'all to listen to this. We were playing with this the other day when I was over here. Listen to this. That's got a little bit of a ring. That is crazy. I've always heard that good crankshafts ring like a bell, and that's insane to me. That is insane. All right, guys, let's check out this Bullet camshaft here. This is a brand new one. Normally I buy used stuff. Whoa, boy, look up there. Wow. That thing is pretty. All right, guys, so something I had never done until I just recently started doing it. I don't know who mentioned it. Somebody on one of the channels put the camshaft in first. Before you put the crank in, you can actually walk it in down here. You don't have to have the big thing on the end of it, and it just makes it easy. So we've got a camshaft in it. Bearings are in. These are H series bearings, just like we put in Randy's. Clevi 8 series is the hardened ones. And so they look funny, but that's what they are. We don't have the rear main seal in it yet. I'll show you how to put that in a minute. But we're looking at thrust clearance. So Mike has got his dial indicator. So we're gonna put it on there and see. And you can see right there is your in play, your gap. Right there.
You want to check from the back or the front?
It's fine up there on the front. And then we're gonna have to put the other cap on it too. We'll do it, check it first here. And basically all he's going to do is put the magnetic stand on there on the end of the crankshaft, and then we'll push it back and forth and see how much clearance we got. Turbo cars generally, I think, in my opinion, they prefer 8 to 10 thousandths, 12 thousandths even, a little bit more. This thrust does look like it's a little bigger than a small block Chevrolet. I don't have a small block Chevrolet bearing. You got a small block Chevrolet bearing anywhere, Mike? Probably. Or no?
At the shop.
Oh. I wonder how much bigger this is, but all the load is here. You know, on the small block, what we ended up doing is tuck it to TKM, and we put a roller thrust system on it. This one also may get the roller thrust system at some point. Basically, they have to cut into the crank, they cut into the front cap, and then they put the roller bearing system on it. But right now, that's not going to happen for us.
All the LS ones out compared to
I know LS has got a very small one too. Let's check this real quick. Got the end cap, the main cap on back here. Rear main seal still not in it, and there's no lube in between the thrusts. All right, guys. So Mike's got this thing set up. So the dial indicator, you can see now it's on 0, and there is no lube in between the thrust. And so basically, we just go in here, I put my screwdriver and lightly press it, and then boop. So we have about 7 thousandths. Now that's a little snugger than what I used to run on my small block Chevrolet. When you have the roller thrust, you run a lot less than that. But where Mike said his is at 7 on his LS motor. So one thing you could do if we wanted to, we could go in there and take the thrust bearing and then lightly sand the surface on the back or the front. Ideally, probably since this surface is the one that is pushed against, you would sand the front of the bearing up there. And you could, I mean, just a piece of Scotch-Brite, a piece of 320 flat sandpaper, do a couple swipes on it, and that's going to give a couple thousandths. Yep. So we might do that. We're probably going to do that just to get us back to about 10, 8 to 10.
You could take it to the 80 grit belt sander in there. And
all right, Randy. I like you. That's a Courtney idea there, the belt, 80 grit belt sander. Look, now, that was funny when I said it to Randy, but I don't like it when you say it to me. Now I understand what he feels like. It's like, wait a minute. It's like shock and awe. So that might be a little aggressive. So we are probably going to do that. I'm also going to go ahead and show you how we modify the bearing so that this surface back here gets a little bit more oil. You always want to do that as well. I'm going to snatch the crankshaft back out of it again, take the bearings out, sand those a little bit, and modify the bearing. We'll be back in a second. Hey guys, so Mike has this handy little Dremel tool, and use a square bit is what we use. And on the bearing itself, you cut this little chamfer. That one's about 100 thousandths wide. And I actually did one on this side as well. And you see it's not super deep. Not super deep at all. Just barely down below. But this is going to be a path of oil to get to the thrust surface. We also took a piece of 220 sandpaper, which put it flat on a piece of flat surface, and just lightly moved it and sanded the surface. You can see the difference between that side and this side. And so we sanded the side that is the side that does not have all the pressure. So we did that on the cap one as well. So now we're going to check clearance again. All right, guys, so we got this thing back in there. We did that little bit of grinding. So the main cap is back on it. So we're at 0 there. So now he's going to come up to the other side of the crank, gently press. And now we're between 9 and 10. So we gained about 2 thousandths of clearance there. So I think that's going to be good. What do you think? Good enough, close enough. So now we got to take it back apart. Well, actually, all we got to do is take it apart and lubricate it real fast. So one of the things, putting this rear main seal in, this is the Viton one. And so this one is, it was $41, but so it was kind of expensive. But the big lip part is always going toward the inside of the crankshaft. The other thing I do is I offset it just a little bit. And if you offset it just that much, not much, and then you do the opposite in the cap, you put a dab of silicone here and a dab of silicone here and a dab of silicone here, and then generally these things don't leak. So if you line them up perfect 100% like that, I mean, in theory it's going to have silicone there, but it could potentially leak. But you can't go too far, because if you go too far, then it doesn't work either. So that is how you install a rear main seal, 2-piece rear main seal. All right, so crankshaft is installed, and so he's just putting a little dab of silicone on it. Put both sides there, and it's got to go on the cap and on the end of the seal. And I've already changed it over here on this side to the right orientation. And it's not much, and it kind of centers itself up too, but when you pull this thing apart, it will be exactly like that. So there again, the big part of the seal, the fat part, is toward the inside of the motor. I've heard back in the day, if you run vacuum pumps, that you would reverse this, but That's hearsay. Okay, we're going to put the caps on it real fast. All right, guys. So crankshaft is in and torque down. Battery's about dead on the phone. So this thing spins really good. Of course, you're going to have some tension in it when you put assembly lube together. But when it gets motor oil in it and it gets warm, then this thing spins like butter, which it spins like butter now. Mike, appreciate the help tonight.
We're going to put a bag on.
We'll be race ready soon with this big block. Appreciate it, guys. If y'all want to support the channel, TurboJohnRacing.com. Grab yourself some Hassan t-shirts. Thanks for watching, guys. See y'all.